I won't lie, this is one of those videos where you're like, I don't know how well this is gonna do, but you just make it because you love it. This channel's still so new that I can do like basically any video I want. So I am partially like making this one just for myself. I always try to find a balance between content I want to make and what, you know, I think you guys will get the most value out of. So I hope you guys like this one. So let's get started. I don't know what it is, man. Maybe it's because I watched a lot of Top Gear like growing up during my like formative car years. But like the funniest thing ever to me is just like crappy cars. Like I love trash cars. I find them to be hilarious. Almost nothing makes me laugh harder than like a trash car. So I thought I'd just share what my worst car ever was, my crappiest car. And you know, I'm hoping you guys can leave a comment. I know it's some work sometimes, but I hope we can build this video up and you guys can leave some comments and tell me like what your crappiest car was and describe like very specifically like what was crappy about it. I just love it. I don't know. I'm gonna try not to laugh a lot while I describe my worst car ever, because I just think it's so funny. All right, so basically when I had my Camaro SS, I was like, I need a beater car. So I had a job, so I was able to afford just like a little beater car. This was like a little over 10 years ago, so you could still get like a beater car. You know, it's really hard to get one now. So my budget was like $1,500. So I found a 1998 Subaru Legacy wagon, 5-speed manual. Said it had 120,000 miles on it. It had a sunroof. Like that was one of my main things. I was like, it's gotta have a sunroof. It must have a sunroof. So I went and checked out the car. You know, I test drove it. I could tell the brakes were shot. The suspension was shot. The clutch was fine. It was fine. It shifted okay. It stayed in gear. So I was like, I'll take it. I tried to negotiate. So I was like, yo, so bro, it was like a new used car dealer. I was like, so, you know, what price are we doing on this thing? And he just looks at me. He's like, $1,500. So I was like, all right, I'll just pay the $1,500. Even back then, like that was that was as cheap as it can get. Yo, look how beautiful this day is. We're on some pretty rural roads, and we're gonna go hopefully even more rural. I'm just driving. I'm just enjoying. We'll talk about crappy cars. I love crappy cars. All right, so this Legacy 98 Subaru Legacy wagon, 5-speed manual. It was in forest green. So I got home and I had a little extra money to like mess with the car. I was like, yo, let me just have some fun with this thing, okay? Little did I know that this car was a huge mistake. This car was a massive mistake, and you'll see why as I explain. So I started modifying the car because I was like, whatever, I paid like barely a G for it, like I can just have some fun with it. I really wish I didn't modify it and I saved my money for all the repairs that it ended up having. Look at these roads, dude. Oh my god, look at the views. Not the best views in the world, but like, come on, man. Central Pennsylvania is so slept on. Like I've said in other videos, a lot of these roads, it's crazy. A lot of these roads aren't even on Google Street View. Like they're mapped on Google, right? Obviously, we're using Google Maps right now. But you go and you do the Street View and there's nothing. There's nothing available. So it's like you got a lot of really nice roads out here, and people don't really know how good they are. Like, look at this. This road is in good condition. Like, look, it's nice and paved. There's like no bumps or anything. It's crazy. You pay like way less tax out here than you do in populated areas, but the roads are better than like the populated areas. Isn't that something else? You would think these would be the roads that are not in good condition. But I guess it's the traffic that, you know, messes it up, the trucks. Anyway, I went off on a tangent. All right, let's get back to the crappy car, the Legacy. All right, so first thing I did, I was like, I hate the forest green. I don't like the forest green. So it'd be hot if I do like a stormtrooper look on it. So I want to paint it white. I wonder how many people are already like, bro, stop. You are going to paint the car? I won't lie, I'm really bad at painting. I'm just terrible at painting. I don't know what it is. I can't paint shit. I don't paint anything anymore unless I have to. I don't know. I just orange peel it out. I don't know what I do wrong. I try to do the preparation. It's an art. So in my opinion, it's an art. A little fox body. So I went to Home Depot and I was like, all right, well, if I screw up the paint job, I need a way to like reverse it. So I was like, I'll get Rust-Oleum. So I got I don't know, like 20, 30 cans of not Rust-Oleum, shoot. What's the one that you peel? Of course I'm gonna blank on it. Plasti Dip, yeah. So I got 20 or 30 cans of Plasti Dip, white Plasti Dip. And then for the rims, I got Rust-Oleum. I got black Rust-Oleum in a can, metallic, and I got black for the roof as well. I'll put pictures up of the car. I have pictures of this car. Not too many because, you know, I wasn't making content back then. It wasn't really as much of a thing. So I have limited content on this vehicle, but I have enough to show you guys. So, so I spent like, I don't know, I think it was like a day. I taped the car off and everything. So I painted it white with the Plasti Dip. Now, here's the thing. In the start, it looked pretty clean. I mean, look at the picture. Like, it's not bad, right? Like, it's not bad. It's pretty clean. Like, I did a pretty decent job. And the nice thing about Plasti Dip is because it's like rubber, you don't really get like orange peel. It goes on pretty easily. But that's where the first issues began. It goes on easy, but it don't come off easy. I found that you can't really get it off at all. But the bigger issue is Plasti Dip, it's rubber, right? So guess what? It absorbs dirt like crazy. I hope I have a picture. I'll try to put it up if I can. See, this is what I'm saying. It's hard to speak. Plasti Dip just absorbs dirt, and I painted it white. So like within like 6 months, I remember after like 2 or 3 months, I was like, damn, it's getting dirty. Let me try to wash it. So I went to detail the car, and none of the dirt would come off. Nothing would come off. I was like, oh no, you can't clean it. It's like a tire. It's like a tire that gets old, you know? Like, you can put some shine on it, but you're just like covering it up. At least with the tire, you put the shine on it and it becomes glossy black again. There's really like nothing you can do for like white Plasti Dip that gets like really dirty. Look at the little farm. Look at the animals. Well, hey, buddy. Probably pull over and talk to him, but we gotta talk about the Subaru. So this is officially when I realized that this car is a Subaru. It's not Subaru anymore, it's a Subaru. So I realized like you couldn't wash the car anymore because it didn't work. It wouldn't get clean. So you know what I had to do? I was like, damn, this shit's getting mad dirty. I drove back over to Home Depot, got a few cans more of Plasti Dip in white. Just added another layer, like a light layer. Oh god, I gotta make sure I don't laugh too hard and like crash. Alright, Sean, it's not that funny. It's not that funny. So yeah, when you wanted to clean this car, you had to go to Home Depot and get another can of Plasti Dip. Oh god. Oh, I gotta catch my breath. So there's no way to clean the car other than oh, what is this? Got some smoke. Oh, you know what's interesting in these rural areas? There's no garbage service really in a lot of these areas. Like, there is no garbage truck that comes and picks up your shit, so you actually have to, on the weekends they'll burn their garbage. That's what you do. Isn't that interesting? All right, so that was the first part of me making a Subaru, but it does not end there. The next the next scuff mod I did to it, I got a boost gauge and I put it on the dash. I just connected it to the intake, so it's just a vacuum gauge. And then I would go pick up my car friends, because all my car friends were all into like racing and stuff. So like, I have my boy hop in. I'd be like, yo, she's boosted. One of them almost ripped it off. They were so mad. They were so triggered by it. I was like, nah, get off my boost gauge. This car is fast, bro. The next scuff mod I did is I wanted floodlights. So I ordered the cheapest pair of floodlights that you could get on eBay. And I did a scuffed install. So I just took a drill and just drilled into the roof of the car and just put them on. I didn't put gaskets or grommets or anything. So when it would rain, it would leak. Now, the reason it didn't matter that that it leaked is because on this car, I realized very quickly within weeks, the sunroof was super leaky. So I was like, it leaks anyway. Anytime it rains, there's a puddle on the ground. That's a lesson, by the way. Sunroofs, I still get them. I love them, but they're trash. Even on this car so far, at least once I came out. Oh, this is a weird turn. Damn, this shit is tight. I won't lie, I don't know where I am. I'm on a new road here. Well, this was randomly like really tight. We in the country. We in the country. Look at this road. But look at this. We're deep rural, and like, look at the road, bro. It's still better than most roads. It makes no sense. I gotta move my drink over. Okay. Where was I? Oh yeah, the floodlights. So I just attached them to like, this is like a basic switch. I don't remember where I put the switch, but just like, you know, just like a basic on off switch to the battery through the firewall. It was easy. And they would leak like crazy. Now, the first time I got to use them, it was a snowstorm, because this was kind of like a winter car for me, like I said. But I would drive it once in a while. The first snowstorm after I put them on, I was like, oh, this is perfect. I picked up my girlfriend, now wife, and we were driving in the snowstorm. I was like, watch this. I got floodlights. I turned the floodlights on, and they were so bright, like, boo. But I guess I didn't angle them right, so all it did was just you could just like barely see. It just lit up all the snow in front of the car. You could barely see, and then all of a sudden the one on the right went and went out. I was like, oh, I must have scuffed the wiring at some point and screwed it up. Oh my god. So right off the bat, all the mods to the car were terrible. It was trash. It was trash. Yo, if you've watched this video this far and you're not subscribed, if you've chuckled at least a little bit, drop me a sub, man. Like I said, this type of video is not really the type of video that is gonna like pop off, but I'm just doing this because, you know, it entertains me. And I really hope it entertains you. All right, we're about halfway through. I'll explain the rest of this car. Wow, this is a really nice road. I like this road. Very rural. Okay, what's next? So the car, I did the mods to the car, and then I immediately stopped modding the car because I was like, oh geez, this thing is like, this thing is not worth it. Because one day I woke up to go to work. I had to be at work at like 7. So I just left my house early, so I was still living with my parents then. So I start the Subaru, start going halfway down my street, and all of a sudden, sound like the car had open headers. The exhaust, right after the stock exhaust manifold, it rusted out and snapped. Fell off. It started dragging on the road. And the car was like open headers. It was just scraping mad loud, like, and also, so I pulled over and I looked under the car and I saw, it's like, damn, the exhaust rusted out. I bought a piece of shit car. This is just the beginning. So what I had to do, I was like, damn, it's not even safe to do anything other than reverse back down the street, because I was afraid, because it was dragging on the ground. I was like, damn, what if this gets like caught on like something, and like, I don't know, I was worried. So I had to put it in reverse and reverse back to my parents' house down the street at 6 in the morning, making mad noise. The car is loud. The exhaust is dragging on the road, metal. Oh God, I'm sure my neighbor's like, yo, what the hell is wrong with Sean? What the hell is wrong with Sean, man? So I got home. All I did was, I was like, well, I gotta go to work. So I just unplugged. I just pulled the muffler off, because the car, the whole exhaust was disconnected at that point. You know, yo, I just found an awesome road. I've never been down this road. So I I disconnected it. I just pulled off, you know, the muffler off the hangers, and I just left the exhaust in the driveway. It's like basically the whole exhaust of the car. And I drove to work. And when I got to work, I had a car friend there. He was like, yo, bro, what did you do to your car? It's like, oh, the exhaust rusted out, man. That was easy to fix, though. I just got like a pipe and just like did like clamps and reinstalled it. That was an easy fix. That was not a problem. The next issue with the car, so I was the idiot who forgets to put your gas cap back on. So I filled the car up. Once again, I picked up my girlfriend, now wife, and we were driving in White Plains, which is like a little mini New York City almost nowadays. We were driving on a 2-lane road, and I was on the left, and somebody pulls up to me on the right, and they're like, roll your window down. So I roll my window down. He's like, your gas cap's open. So I look, I was like, oh shoot, the gas cap is open. I guess I forgot it. I guess I forgot it. And so I was like, thank you. I'm sure he's looking at the car like, this is a piece of shit. So that was at a red light, by the way. So the light turns green. I start driving. I swear, I'm not making this up. Swear to God. Like, I go in front of him. I'm like a decent amount of cars ahead, maybe 3 cars. All of a sudden, poof, smoke just starts coming out of the hood. It was just the radiator, but just white smoke just starts billowing out of the car. So it's like, I saw it was white, so I was like, oh damn, this must be the radiator. So I had to immediately like pull over and turn the car off, make sure it wouldn't overheat or anything. I'm just imagining like how that guy must have reacted. Like, imagine from his perspective, you roll up on just like a shit box, you're like, yo bro, you left the gas cap open, and they're like, thanks. And then like literally 30 seconds later, the car just pops. And they gotta pull over. Oh god, that car was so fun. It doesn't, we're not over though, we're not done with the stories. That was an easy fix though. I got that. I had a good mechanic in New York. He fixed that for like $400 total. Put a new radiator in. It was no problem. I was easily able to get it over there. And I had my Camaro, so I could just take that out. The next issue with this car. I'm sorry for coughing. I'm just like laughing so much. Next issue with this car. Also, I noticed very quickly that the locks did not work. I don't know why I didn't check it when I got it, but all the locks were basically ruined. Basically, like the driver's side door, where you put the key, the little thing. This is an old car, so it's not like nowadays where you have everything's digital and wireless. I just over rev matched there a little bit. There we go. So you could only get in the car with like a key. It just came with a key. It didn't come with a clicker. Maybe that's why I didn't really check it. But very quickly after I bought it, like the key, like you put it, like you couldn't even turn, you couldn't even turn it, so you couldn't really like unlock it or lock it. So it was really scuffed. It was so scuffed. So it got to the point where anytime you wanted to lock the car, the only way to get back in, the only lock that worked was the trunk. So like anytime I wanted to lock the car, which was rare because I usually did not bother locking this car. It was never broken into. It was just in such a bad shape that you just knew nobody was trying to break into it. I basically never locked the car, but once in a while I would have some stuff in there. I'd be like, all right, I guess I should lock it. So the procedure, you get out of the car and you gotta lock it through the trunk. But that meant that to get back in, because maybe I didn't explain that correctly. It's not just that the key wouldn't turn, the locking mechanisms were broken on the door, like on all the doors. The only door you could lock and unlock, that's what I meant to say. The only door you could lock and unlock was the trunk. So if you wanted to lock the car, you get out, manually lock all the doors from inside, and you gotta climb out through the trunk, and you gotta come back into the trunk. So that was pretty bad. Oh god. Oh god. Yo, these roads are beasts. Tell me these roads are not beasts. Central Pennsylvania, man, these are the roads. Look, we have not hit any traffic, and it's a Saturday, by the way, that I'm recording this at 11 in the morning. So like people are out, but not out here because there ain't nobody out here. So fun. And I'm laughing a lot, so I'm not really trying to like drive aggressively. I'm just chilling. But you know, you come out here and you focus, you can have some fun, learn the road. You know, look at this, look at this, bro. Look at this, bro. This is it. Central Pennsylvania, you'd never know. Look at the map. We're like deep in the sticks. Oh, okay. What was the next issue with the car? Oh, here's another one. Now, I bought this car on the precipice, the assumption, the trust that the 120,000 miles was accurate. Within a couple weeks of owning the car, I started to notice the speedometer would just turn off. Everything, the dash would just die. And it would, it would sometimes take days, if not weeks, to come back. That's when I realized this car does not have 120,000 miles on it. This shit has, I don't know, unknown, a lot of miles. I still don't know how many miles that car had. I don't know, a lot. And I wasn't about to fix the speedometer, you know? So like technically when I owned this car, I only put, I think like 5,000 or 6,000 miles on it on the speedometer, but I had it for like, I don't know, 2-3 years, something like that. It's all funny until, I forget the problem. It was like the timing chain or the timing belt broke or something. I went to start the car one day, it would not start. And I had to get like an expensive repair on it. It's a while ago, dude. I had a good mechanic that it still cost, I think, like $1,000. They had to do something. I really forget what it was. It had to get flatbedded. I was so mad at the car that I was just like, whatever, just take it, fix it. I'm done with this thing. And it's a good lesson, by the way. Like, you buy used cars, like, you know, they break, man. They break. And it's going to cost you a lot of money to fix it. This car was totaled from day one. This is excluding the fact that the suspension was wobbly as hell. Super wobbly. It needed suspension. It probably needed brakes. I never put brakes. Now let's finish up. There's two more things I have to talk about this car. So let me tell you one good thing about this car. One of the first ways I tried to be self-employed is teach people how to drive stick. I taught them on this car. So I did actually have to do a clutch on this car, but I had a good mechanic and he did the whole thing for like $500. I remember, because like I would teach people how to drive stick. I have no idea how many miles were on the car, and people I taught how to drive stick like tore up the clutch, you know, of course. And that's another thing, by the way, like if you can learn how to drive stick on not your car, because I've taught enough people to know that like, yeah, like people will really ruin the clutch. In the process of learning. I feel like I chewed up the clutch on the first stick car I had, a Camaro, V6 Camaro. So try to learn on another car. But I basically made a profit off of this car because I was charging, back then, bro, over 10 years ago, I was charging $50 an hour and people would leave me tips. They really liked how I taught them, and I taught people really well. I am going to make videos on how to drive stick soon. And, you know, there's a lot of videos on how to drive stick. But, you know, I'll just show you guys how I taught people, and maybe that'll be useful, you know? Maybe it'll be useful. But I made a profit off the car, but they did blow out the clutch. The clutch started going. I brought it to my guy. I bought the clutch kit. You won't even believe it. It was $150 back then from eBay. Brand new clutch for this car. Isn't it, like, that sounds fake, right? That's like, I spent $150. I brought it to my mechanic. Again, sorry for clearing my throat. I've been laughing. He was like, I can do it for $400. I was like, okay. Even back then, that was a really like low price. And then he called me halfway through, and he was like, listen, man, this car is in really bad shape. It's really rusty. Look, the 400. I'm sorry, it wasn't enough. Like it's gonna be more. It's gonna be more. I was like, oh, here we go. Because any other place I would have brought it to in my area, they probably would have charged like a G to do the clutch. So at the 400, I was like, okay, ask for more. Like, that's fine. I can't believe that was such a low price to begin with. I was like, yeah, sure, man. How much more? He was like, it's gonna be another $100. I was like, oh man. All right, fine. He was like, you can come get it later. Clutch was good. I went and picked the car up. I was like, another 100, shoot. I actually had another mechanic that I used for like different stuff, and I told him straight out, and he laughed at that story. Do a little something. Come on, there's nothing over here. brake because we're coming over hill. We can't see anything. Back down to normal speed. Like I said, short bursts. Wow, we are in the sticks, bro. We are in the sticks. So I made a profit off the car. I didn't have to put a clutch in it, but even with the purchase price and the clutch and the repairs, I made some money. Not that much because I had to pay a decent amount to get that engine problem fixed. I'm sorry, I don't remember. I'm not super, like, I know a little bit about mechanics. Like, I can do some work. The stuff I know, but the stuff I don't know as well. I don't remember the exact problem with it. It was like timing belt, timing chain. And then it was okay because it's not an interference engine, or it was an interference engine. I don't remember. I trusted my guy, he fixed it. Okay, last thing about this car, and it's probably my favorite memory of the car because I got rid of it. So, have you guys ever heard those commercials for cars for kids? So I was like, I'm gonna donate this thing. I'm gonna donate this car. I'm not even gonna bother trying to sell it because it's just like a waste of time. Like, this thing's not worth anything. So I called Cars for Kids there, and I was like, hey, I want to donate my car. They're like, oh, great. Some woman, she was all happy and everything. And so she asked for the year and the model, so I told her the year and the model. She's like, what color is it? So right away, I realized what was going to happen. They're going to ask me all the details about the car, and it was going to be really hard not to laugh. She's like, what color is the car? I was like, I tried so hard not to laugh. Oh, bro, it's an Outback though. This is basically the car. That's basically what it was. That's an Outback, so it's a little different, but that's like basically what it was. So she's like, what color is it? I was like, well, sorry, I cleared my throat. I was like, well, the registration says green, but it's white with a black top. So right away she was like, okay. Right away she was upset, already annoyed by me. She was like, okay, how much mileage? That's what I just. I started laughing. I was like, unknown. And she was not amused. I was like, I'm sorry. It's just like, the car is not great. It's just I don't know, the speedometer broke. I'm sorry. She was like, okay. She's like, what would you say is the overall condition of the car? So I was like, poor. I had to convince her that I was serious. Yo, I'm gonna come out here for hikes, by the way. We do the hikes. This looks like a nice place to come do hiking. I was like, yeah, the condition is poor. Then she was like, she was done at this point. She was like, are there any issues with the car that we should know about? I was like, well, the speedometer doesn't work, the locks don't work, it leaks. The suspension is done. It needs brakes. It needs everything. It needs the paint. It needs a paint job. I destroyed the outside. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope I'm not crazy. I hope somebody enjoys this video, because otherwise I'm just driving around talking to myself, making myself laugh. So by some miracle, she's like, we'll send a tow truck to come get it. And here's how it works. We try to auction the car off. If we auction the car off, whatever we auction off for, we'll send you a tax deductible thing for the value of that, and you can deduct that off your taxes because you donated it. If nobody goes for it at the auction, we'll just we scrap it, and you just get a default $500. Take a guess. What happened when they sent that car to the auction? Oh God. Oh, I wish I could have been there. This is probably the worst car of the day. Yo. Oh, shit. Oh, God. Imagine all those professionals that are there, you know, resellers, or just, they have the dealer license, and they're there to be serious, like really find cars, and they see the Subaru roll up. They must be like, yo, what the fuck is this? So I got in the mail $500. This car was scrapped. Okay. I love it, man. Listen, if you enjoyed, subscribe. I'm telling you right now, if you leave me a comment and you have anything even vaguely similar to this, I will read your comment about your crappy car and I will laugh like just as hard. Like, I just love crappy cars. Like, I think it's just so funny. I love the stories of them being out in the wild and them causing problems for people. I just think it's so funny. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know. Like, there's other things I love too. Like, I like when people, one of my guilty pleasures is like, if I see someone curb their rims. This shit is so funny. All right, that's enough. Again, leave a comment. Let me know your story. And that's all I got for now. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.